How can a hearing impaired elementary student best become grade level literate in English?
Okay. I'm a strong believer that there should be 24-hour communication at home, in school. So the best way is what? Through sign language. So if the whole family signs, from the time you find out the kid's deaf until, that would help. Not just only depend on one person, the family, to interpret for everybody. The kids don't get that asset. Also, leave the captions on when you're watching TV, even though if everybody in the family's all hearing, put the caption on. Don't just say, okay, you can watch TV in your bedroom. We'll have captions there, but everybody else in the family will watch TV in the living room with no caption. And, the kid missed out on family interaction questions and all that. Captions all the time. Encourage reading. Time to start reading to the kid. When you find out it's deaf, just start signing. May not know the words, but you just, So those are really the main factors. But you also have to take in the child herself. If it has some disability or something that might hinder it. But those are my beliefs.
Okay. For the subject that you teach, do you notice a difference between teaching deaf students and hard of hearing students?
Interesting question. I just know that the hard of hearing kids prefer me to use my voice when I sign.
Okay.
And they're more reliant on listening than watching me sign. Whereas the deaf, they don't care. But difference in the way of teaching. No, in terms of learning, I think it's the same.
Is it better for a deaf student?
Oh, wait a minute.
Sorry.
For the deaf signers, they're more visual. The hard of hearing is more auditory.
Okay. Is it better for the deaf student to be mainstream or in a classroom full of deaf, which is called a special day class, right?
Is it better?
Yes.
Are you talking about a class like this? Or are you talking about day school?
Oh, more like a class like this then.
Yeah. A lot of times when you have classes like this, it's more of what I call special education. You go at a very slow pace, you explain, everything becomes very clear, you make some modifications, whereas if the kids went to a hearing class, if you have someone who's really has high reading level and put in a class like this, I don't think they will benefit because the teacher has to go slow, explain, make it clear, and the other person who maybe catch it gets bored. But if you have a class with all bright kids, that makes it more exciting than you can teach on grade level or close to that. But most of the time you have a DH class like this, it's a lot simpler.
In your opinion, which do you feel will benefit hearing impaired students? Having a deaf teacher or having a hearing teacher?
I'm a believer in both. I have seen deaf teachers that are lousy. I've seen hearing teachers that are lousy. I've seen hearing teachers that are just fantastic teachers. And I've seen deaf teachers that are fantastic. So it all depends on who. I just rather have the kids have a person who signs well.
Can
I say something before we go on?
Yeah.
Okay. Hearing impaired is not politically correct term.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, I know you don't know yet. That's what the people out there use. But deaf people are okay from calling us deaf. It's okay to call us, hard of hearing, whatever. It's just general deaf. And deaf includes deaf and hard of hearing. When you're talking about the big D, put it together. Yeah, so by hearing impaired, it's like my ears are broken. They're not broken, they're fine. Just like maybe Akimi has glasses. Do I call her visually impaired? No, she's either nearsighted or farsighted. Visually impaired sounds like your eyes are broken. Same thing here. So I just had to explain that.
Oh, it's because I wasn't sure. I wanted to include both deaf and hard of hearing, so I didn't know which was what to say.
Just put it down. Or you put in general deaf, that includes both.
Okay,
In general.
Thank you. Would a deaf student benefit from learning English as their first language or ASL as their first language?
I would say ASL. Because visual. It's very visual, it's conceptual. Whereas, speaking of English, unless they get it 24 hours, maybe. Ooh, 24, reality is none. So we kind of like learn better by watching, boom, 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 getting to the point. And then you base that strong foundation of ASL, then you learn English on top.